Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we see the price of Theta reacting to the bull market support band, which is exactly as I thought it would, right? Nothing is ever a guarantee, but it was the probability of it happening was pretty high. And if you caught the last several videos, I've been talking about this for quite some time. And basically, what we want to see is the price of Theta continue to build support up and around the bull market support band. And that's exactly what we see happening. So when I zoom out, let's get a better picture here. We see something very nice right there. You can see obviously we came down in this correction. It could be a flat. I still think it is, right? A, B, and then we come down for C, right? You can see this wick right here. We wicked off the bottom of that bull market support band. We had a wave to the upside, and then we have this sort of three-wave correction to the downside. So when I look at it a little closer, one of the things I said in the other video is this could be either an ABC or a 1-2, which means 1, 2, and now we're getting ready for 3, 4, and 5. Or this is an A, B, and now we're getting ready for C. Regardless, I think we got some upside to go. You could see this three-way move here, 1, 2, 3, right? And at the end of that three-wave move, we had 3 daily candles in a row, 1, 2, 3, counting today, basically establishing a base or support on top of the bull market support band. So right there. So everything's looking good. If I turn the sequential on and I go, let's see, the 4-day chart, I think we almost had a 9 actually. We had an 8, right? But the count flipped, right? It got a little too bullish, a little too early, which is okay. It's still, it's still fine. Um, What I really like is the 2-week chart. You could see right here, we have this 9 buy right here. You can see the arrow pointing up. And if you don't know what a 9 buy means, it's basically this indicator right up here on the very top. TD sequential. I've talked about it many times if you're new to the channel. Basically, it's an exhaustion indicator, right? So you don't want to use it alone. You want to use it in conjunction with other indicators, right? Like RSI, MACD, Elliott wave, right? In your basic support and resistance and things like that. So we can see in this instance, we had a 9 buy on the 2-week chart in the middle of the spring phase. Because if I zoom out here, you can see this whole thing right here is a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And basically what that means is the price is finding support and it's ranging inside of a base. And what that means is buyers are accumulating, otherwise known as the smart money, right? If you're in the smart money category, you don't really feel the fear and the anxiety and the uncertainty because you're weighing your risk in the probability that we are going into sometime into an uptrend or at least a retracement. And why I really like this 9 is because look at this. If you were following this indicator alone, you had a 9 buy right here. Price came down, right? Took a little while. But once it passed these red dots, it activated. And look at this. The 9 sell right here. This candle, let me highlight it, called the exact top of the Theta bull run, which is absolutely remarkable. So let me zoom out here. You could see this candle right here called the exact top. And it was pretty remarkable, right? I mean, they don't always work out. And then also, like for example, if the 9 occurred here, I wouldn't really take it too serious because look, you had an 8 right here, but it didn't get the 9. But even if we did get a 9, does that mean sell everything? No. Why? Because you're using Elliott wave as well. So for example, you have a 1, 2, right? And this could be your 4th wave in here, and then your 5th wave, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end of the 5th wave, you get a 9. Then it's like, okay, now I have 2 things telling me, right? And then again, if you're not too sure, you wait for the breakdown. And that's like, okay, now we have a 9 buy or a 9 sell. We had a break below the bull market support band, and we had 5 waves. I mean, if that doesn't say get out, then I don't know what does. And if that still didn't get you out, we come back up, we resisted it again. Come back down, we resist it again. Look how many times it's given you a chance to get out. We get back down, we resist it again. We come back down. Now there is a little couple times where we get above it, but for the most part, it's rejecting. So I love the bull market support band. I love TD sequential. I love Elliott wave. I like combining all of them. This is my trading strategy. It doesn't mean it's your trading strategy, but at the end of the day, you're probably watching YouTube videos to figure out where we are in the price, right? Maybe you're a trader. Maybe you're like most of us and you're a hodler and you just want to know, when is this thing gonna freaking moon already? And so my job is to figure out, okay, what is the most probable outcome that is occurring at this moment? And first of all, we have our base down here. This is where the theta came out. You want to look at the whole entire chart. When you look at the whole entire chart, it's not much data. So you don't really have much to go off of. You have one base, you have one bull run, you have one bear market, right? So you don't really have too much to go off of. So what do you rely on? Well, I like to look at Bitcoin. And before I go to Bitcoin, just again, right? The beginning of Theta's life started with what? Sideways price action. In order for this massive bull run to have occurred, what needed to happen? Sideways. That's the best thing, right? So you're going sideways in a base. It could take months. It could take years. It depends, right? To me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, right? You want it to happen. But at the same time, it's like your money's got nothing better to do. By the way, this is not financial advice. Nothing I say on this channel is financial advice. I could be totally dead wrong on everything I say, so always be aware of that. This is just my opinion, right? So if you're like me, you want to invest money because that's what you do for you and your family, right? You might have a job, you might work somewhere, right? That pays the bills, but it's not going to make you rich. It maybe it will. I don't know what you do for a living, but as we work, we get our paychecks. We take our paychecks. We're buying inflated groceries. We're buying inflated rent, inflated housing, inflated interest rates, cars, insurance, health insurance, car insurance, everything. And your money's being sucked up into this central banking system that I call a scam debt-based system. Basically, it's an enslavement system. You're a slave. I'm a slave. Everybody in this system is a slave. The moment you came out of your mom's womb, if you're in the United States, right, you're given a social security number. Basically, that number is your identity, right? And in that identity, it's like the United States of America. No, it's the United States Incorporated. It's basically a corporation. Do you know what corpse mean? Corpse means you're dead, right? It's a dead system. We live in a central banking fiat currency system, and probably that's the reason why you're investing into crypto. You heard of Bitcoin? Look at this. It's decentralized, peer-to-peer, open source. I like it. It competes with other currencies. I don't have to solely rely. Look at Venezuela, for example. Now, the problem with Bitcoin is it's not very scalable. It costs a lot of money. So what do? You go to the altcoins. The altcoins, in my opinion, are the best invention since electricity. Seriously, like they offer they will offer the most yield. Now, if you got into Bitcoin in 2009, 2010, even 2011, 12, then congratulations, you made it. But a lot of us did not. I was somewhat lucky to get in 2017, but even then it was already, $2,000, $3,000. Now, granted, it's a lot more now, but it's not like you bought it for pennies and now you're a millionaire. You don't have to worry about it, right? So our strategy, right, is to maximize our percentage potential. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is the altcoins, not financial advice. And looking at the altcoins, eventually utility is going to drive the market. So you invested into Theta, number one, because you're smart. Number two, because you understand its utility value. And number three, the chart is there to tell you, is not to tell you if it's a good investment. The chart is to tell you when is a good time to invest, right? I can't tell you when is a good time to invest or when to sell. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm accumulating in here. Because if you look here, what do we have? We have a sideways base. What else do we have? We have a 9 buy right in the middle. What do we have here? We have a bigger sideways base. What do we have? A 9 buy in the middle. Look at that. So let's take everything off the screen here. And if you're new to the channel and if you like this content, maybe consider subscribing. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. If I can do that sometime this month, that would be awesome. So if you look here, you could see this was the C19 dump, right? Everybody knows what happened there. So we had a 9 buy. Price went up. We were above the bull market support band. We tested it. Everything looked great. Then bam, a massive liquidity disaster. It was a sell-off like nobody's business. So again, we have a 9. We have a big pump and then a big sell-off. So look what's happening over here. We have a 9, right? We have a big pump. We're above the bull market support band, just like over here, right? So if some type of black swan event occurred, we could see something like this again, right? Where we have a big dump. But if that occurs, you cannot be, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm not going to be selling. I'm not going to be panicking. I'm not going to be like, it's over with. There's nothing to do. It's here's the bear market. You can't let your emotions dictate your financial decisions. You have to base that off logic, facts, and probabilities. And if you look here, this actually marked the bottom and the beginning of the monster bull run we saw. So for example, and we had a 9, we pumped up, we dumped, and then we skyrocketed. We have a 9, we pump. If we dump, I'm going to look at that like the best opportunity of a lifetime, right? And then we go up, right? Is that going to happen? I don't know. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. If it happens, if this happened, it's going to be some reason. It's not going to be because people don't like Theta or they don't believe in Theta. It's going to be some reason, either black swan or who knows, right? Whatever reason, whatever the media is talking about that particular day, they're trying to scare you, whatever, right? It could be the stock market. It could be Bitcoin. It could be a terrorist attack. It could be whatever. Who knows? The point is, if it happens, I'm looking at that like a golden opportunity. You can see that exactly what happened. You had a 9, a break above the bull market support band, a slam down, a bull run. You have a 9, you have a break above the bull market support band. If we get a slam down, I'm looking at it exactly like this. Number one, we have a sideways base right here, sideways base. So there you go. That's sort of what we are dealing with at the moment. Now, the good thing is, obviously that hasn't happened. And if it did happen, it would be a blessing in disguise. So no matter what happens, that's why they say hodl. hodl, hodl. There's a reason why people say hodl, 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 because we are at war. We're at war. We're in a spiritual war. We're in a financial war. And there are entities out there that don't want you to succeed. They actually want you to perish, right? I mean, just look at the food we eat. Look at what they're trying to do to us. Look at all the division. This is not by accident. This is on purpose, right? And I look at crypto not as sort of crypto, but I look at it as a vehicle to bypass a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with, right? And in order to dissect crypto, I think reading a chart is imperative, and that's why I've done it, because I've gotten burned many times and I'm not going to be burned anymore. So we see the price. Now I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why theta is so incredibly bullish. Starting with number one. Number one, we have officially broken above the downward resistance line. Okay? That's very important. That's very important. We broke above, basically the downward resistance line, right, is your bear market, essentially, right? You're going down, 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 down. That is your supply. And you could see the supply is going down, right? Meaning the supply is actually going up because the demand is going down. Actually, the demand is going down, right? So, number one, we broke out. Number two, let me see here. It appears, if I zoom in a little bit, it appears, if I play with this a little bit, we have back tested. Not only that we break out, that's incredibly bullish. But number two is the back test. That's even more bullish right here. So reason number one, we broke out of the downward resistance line. Reason number two, we have officially back tested the downward resistance line. Let me show you here. So you see this candle right here? It totally wicked off of that line. It didn't close around it. It didn't hit it and then bounce around. No, it wicked off of it. That's bullish thing number two. Bullish thing number three, we have a break above the bull market support band. Bullish thing number four, we back tested. Look at that. We're back testing as we speak. The bull market support band. We are back testing it. This is very, very good, right? Now, obviously the price can continue down and that would be, invalidate that bullish idea. But for now, we are holding above, right? So bullish thing number five, we're almost at a 9. We almost made it to a 9. I was kind of hoping we did, right? But you could see we were at an 8, so almost there, right? So I'm not going to even keep counting. There's no reason for me to say bullish 7, bullish 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep going, right? So another bullish thing you could see right here. We have what appears to be an inverse head and shoulders. So there's your shoulder, right? So first of all, here's your resistance right here. All of that's resistance. And what happens is the price breaks below the resistance. The bullish thing is you're cupping into the resistance. You make a head, you cup into the resistance. Now we're back testing the bull market support band. What do you think is going to happen? Potentially cupping into the resistance. Cupping in, cupping in, cupping in, knocking on the door, knocking on the door. Eventually you break out, right? Now, the idea here would be to break out like this and then continue higher, right? So that would be the idea. So what else is bullish on this chart? Well, check this out. We also have Wyckoff accumulation. So here's your Wyckoff accumulation right here. Here's the example. I've showed it many times. And basically, you have a downtrend, right? You have right here, you have your downtrend. You have this move to the upside into resistance. Downtrend, move to the upside into the resistance, right? So PS stands for preliminary support. I'm not going to get into all that because it's unnecessary. The idea here is just to understand the structure. The structure is we have a down move, three-wave move into the resistance, right? Down move, three-wave move into the resistance. We come down and we break the support. We come down, break the support. That's exactly what happened. We come down, we break the support. What else? Then we march back to the upside without taking out this high. We march up to the upside without taking out that high. Then here's the most important part, the spring phase. Then, we don't take out this high. Then we start spring, spring, spring. It could be long. It could be dreadful. It could be brutal, right? And it just meanders and meanders and meanders, right? And then what happens is it breaks below this and it breaks below that support. And that's exactly what happened. We come down here, we broke, boom. We broke it right here and even in here. So there's your spring right in there. So we spring. And what does a spring mean, right? When we break below this, we basically broke through the resistance. So basically, here is your bear market, and there's the bottom right here. And then again, the price goes down and breaks this bottom. What happens? Everybody gets extremely bearish. Everybody sells, everybody shorts, everybody leverages. And what was that? That was a trap. Why? Because market makers need to fill their positions. And the only way they can do that is with an abundance of liquidity. And the only way they can do that is break the rules. And the rules are, if you break resistance, then you should go short. And they know that's what retail thinks. But if you are at the end of a bear market cycle, if you're at the end of this if you're in this basin here and you break below, you got to be cautious. Because yes, it can continue going down, right? But that's what the majority thinks. Usually the majority is wrong. Have you ever seen a Twitter poll or a YouTube poll, right? They say, hey, where's Bitcoin headed first? This price or this price? Usually people will say a price, and it's the exact opposite of what they think, because that's just the way it is. So we have this spring phase, right? We break the resistance, and then that's what we were doing in here. And see, notice this, we broke it, we quickly returned. But if you notice here, we were going straight for a few weeks. So there was a lot of uncertainty. What's happening? But then a miracle happened and we broke out. We shot out of that area. And by the way, just a reminder, this was my first YouTube video for Theta and really for crypto. Is right here, right around 64 cents. And right when my first video, I said, hey, look, this is Wyckoff, this is Bullish, and we can see what happened after that. So now, what's next? You can see the price shooting up, and now we're right in here. Same thing, we're right in here. And what is this? It's boom, 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 right, and then continue, right? So we boom, boom, boom. We're going to play around in here a little bit and then continue on. That's the idea. That doesn't mean it has to happen, but that's the idea. And that idea gives confluence to that right shoulder. So you have a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, right? Also, that idea gives confluence because, I'm going to take everything off the screen. We know Wyckoff now. Because, why? Because of the bull market support band, right? And the 9. So I don't know how many bullish ideas or bullish reasons that was. I'm not going to keep track in my head, as it's just too many to count. So what else is bullish on this chart? Well, if you zoom in here, and this is don't really want to count it because it already happened, but we'll talk about it anyway. So let's come down here. I'll take this off right here. So this was right in here about the first video I did. So basically, This in and itself was a Wyckoff accumulation, right? You had a down move, you had this move up to the resistance, then we spring down. Here's your support right here. Candles right here, support. We broke the support. We grabbed that liquidity. This right here was the ultimate low for this move, right? So we grabbed that liquidity. We broke below all this. Everybody's like, okay, we broke this, so now we're going down, right? That's what people think. But when you identify it, this is actually a Wyckoff accumulation pattern. So they're accumulating. Not ready yet. We're going to come down, fake everybody out. Okay, now it's over. Now I'm going to grab the ultimate accumulation. Boom, right? Important thing, we broke above, right? You could see we pulled back here, just like we're pulling back now on the larger accumulation. And then we finally broke above the bull market support band. You can see it's going down. The bull market support band is going down. And that break totally curved. Now it's important where the bull market support band is pointing. If it's pointing down, that's pretty bad, right? So you got to have some guts. If you're going to buy at that low, you got to have some guts, right? Put it this way. When you buy the dip and you buy an extraordinary price, it's not supposed to feel good. It's supposed to feel bad. It's supposed to feel, oh man, I can't believe I did that. I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? I should have just waited. And it's not supposed to feel good, right? So for example, if the price pumps to the upside and let's say you buy right here, yeah, now that feels good, right? It feels great. Yeah, the price is pumping. It's going up. I bought a little bit more. It's going up higher. Yeah, that feels good. Right? It's not supposed to feel good. If it feels good, you're probably buying not at a good area. All right, so another bullish thing, right, is the RSI. You can see, right, price going flat. Now we have a break above, right, of this downtrend. We have a break above the RSI. That's bullish. Another incredibly, in my opinion, bullish signal is the break, check this out, is the break of the lucid SAR. So think of these like stars, right? And when the price is below the stars, it's bearish. But once the price breaks above the star, now the star is on the bottom. And for the last 4 months, you can see here, all these stars. So here's one star there, right? Another star here. All these stars are now on the bottom because you can see this candle right here was the candle that one broke above the bull market support band and two flipped the stars on the bottom. So you can kind of see what happened here. Now this was an anomaly, right? Obviously because of C19, but you can see here the price broke above, right? Now the star is on the bottom, but then obviously you had that C19 dump, right? But it was fine because we came back. The star is still on top, and now this candle right here took out the star. So now the star is on the bottom. So now you could see the price is going up, stars are on the bottom, and then it wasn't until this candle right here what flipped the count or flipped the stars, right? So that's a very bullish thing right there. Another incredibly bullish thing is this right here. It's called the MACD, or moving average convergence divergence. So you can see here's the monthly. This is the monthly too. This is the big dog. So let me actually make that bigger. You can see right here, look at this. Look at this. You could see red histograms. These are the histograms. You could see it's getting less and less and less and less and less and less. And look at this. We flipped green. And not only we flipped green, but we have a bullish cross as well. So I lost count. I'm sorry. Can somebody tell me how many reasons that is now? Of reasons to be bullish? When you see people still like, I'm not sure. Right? It's not supposed to feel good. right? Like I said before, when you buy, it's not supposed to feel good. Usually that's the best time to buy, is when it feels like a bad time to buy. And when the price is going up and you're making money, it doesn't feel good to sell, because it's like, well, I don't want to sell. It just started. It went up and I don't want to sell. Everybody's excited. Everybody's happy. Everybody's hyped up. Things are going well, right? And I don't want it to end. I don't know. Please don't end. Please don't end. And if I sell it, that's it. I'm out. It ends. So what happens? People don't sell. They miss it, right? So if you subscribe to this channel and you follow along, maybe take everybody's opinion is important. Not just mine, but all my fellow YouTubers out there, everybody who has an insight into the market. Obviously you want to take it with a grain of salt, but you also want to take it a little serious, because if you have 20 things telling you yes and 10 things telling you no, take it into consideration, right? So anyway, we have a cross on the monthly and the bullish histograms. That is not a signal you want to ignore. That is a powerful signal. Okay, so, and again, right, starting off with this, we broke above, actually, let me do this. We broke above this channel, right? You could say it's a channel. So to me, it's like one giant bull flag, right? You have your sideways base. That is your concrete foundation. And your flag pole is your initial bull run, right? Here's your flag pole right here. And now you can see we're going down, right? But then look what happens. You break up. So when you look at charts, you also look for symmetry. And symmetry says we're going sideways, up, down. Sideways, what comes next? Up, right? Up. So something like this. I don't know where the price is going to top. We could talk targets too. I'm thinking conservatively, I think we have a good chance at hitting $50 up to $64. And if we're lucky, we can get up to $100. So we'll talk about that. But basically, right, you have a base, breakout, come down, base, breakout, come down, right? And this is usually what happens. Now, what else is bullish on this, right? What else is bullish? Well, first of all, we have Bitcoin in a retracement, in the 618 retrace. Bitcoin is up here sitting at 618. So theta is down here, right? So that tells me that theta needs to catch up. And you say, well, why would it have to catch up? Because that's what it does. So for example, if you look at Bitcoin, and just a little something to point out, look at the candle we have is green. That's pretty nice, right? Everybody says it's over, and I think it's a good chance of this retracement being over as well, simply because we have a three-wave move, or an A, B, C. We hit the 618, just like over here we hit the 618. So, but that doesn't mean it's over. It's over. That just means we ended the phases. And my phase, right, is what people know, right? It's a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. That's how it usually goes. Now we can go a little higher and then come down, right? Or we can go even a little higher and come down like this, right? Or we could just go sideways and then continue. There's a lot of different forms of reaccumulation. You don't have to go down to reaccumulate. You can come up here and just go sideways up here and reaccumulate and then continue. But there needs to be a break. There needs to be some consolidation. There needs to be, you want to cool off the oscillators, the RSI, the MACD, all the interesting oscillators they have these days, right? The things down here. You want them, if they're way over here and overbought, sideways means they come down and they cool off so that they can gear up for the next run. And it's usually what? A cup and a handle. That's why people like cup and handle, right? So where was I going with theta? Well, right here. Let me actually go to the weekly chart. It's been a long week. Right here, we've had record amounts of rain here in Southern California. I love it, actually. We need rain. It's good. It cleanses the air. It makes everything wash away, and I like it. But just too much rain gets a little boring, depressing, right? So we look at charts. Look at this. Here's the Bitcoin bull run. Up, 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 up. And now it's over. And now we're going sideways. Right here. When did theta really break out? Did it break out over here? Did it break out over here? Did it break out over here? No, it broke out when Bitcoin was already done. When Bitcoin is already topped out, it was done. So you can see right here, there's two charts. So you see these candles, sideways, 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 sideways. That's theta. And where did it really break out? It broke out right here. Right here. And where was Bitcoin when it broke out right here? Bitcoin, I draw a line straight up. It was all the way already, it was topped out. It was done. Right? So what that means is theta's going sideways, Bitcoin's going up. Right? Now Bitcoin's going sideways, now theta catches up. Right? And that's what we could potentially see here. But you could say, yeah, but Bitcoin was in a new bull run. We're not in a new bull run. We're just in a retracement. That's true. But I'm not asking for theta to go into a bull run. I'm asking for theta to do the same thing of what Bitcoin did. And what is that? A retracement. And that's what I think is happening. And you could see the same thing here. Theta's going sideways. Bitcoin's going up. Bitcoin goes sideways. Theta catches up, just like over here. It doesn't have to be in a new bull run. I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying let's be equal partners here. If Bitcoin's going to hit a 618, if Chainlink is going to hit a 618, if Solana's doing it, if other coins are doing it, what do you think is going to happen eventually? People rotate their money, right? If I got a lot of money in Bitcoin and Chainlink, and I'm looking at my Fibonacci level, and I'm like, okay, we already hit the 618. So I'm going to take profit, and I'm going to look for an asset that hasn't quite hit it yet. And what do you know? Theta is one of the big contenders because theta's down here, right? So we have all that room to go. Then once theta gets up here, we have to figure out what Bitcoin's doing because now it comes down to this. Let me take everything off. It comes down to this. The big question is, are we going to get a retracement? My feeling is yes. I believe, let me go back to theta. I believe theta gets a retracement. So if I put a Fibonacci somewhere right there, you could see we're nowhere even near, not even near the retracement levels. Let me zoom up a little bit. I'll just throw some lines at the 50, right about there, and the 618. And then I'll take this off. So that's sort of where we could potentially head, between $8 and $10. Now, since we're so far away, it leads me to think, I don't know, because that's a 10x right there. Just at a retracement. If we're at $1 and we hit $10, that's a 10x move. Just in a retracement. Not even talking about a brand new bull run. So what I would probably do then is say, okay, let's be a little more conservative because that's a lot to ask. A 10x, that's a lot to ask. So let's go down here and set the Fibonacci to log scale. Now, where are we? Where's the 618 now? Now the 618's at $4.30. So right about there. The 50 is right about there. Right? Up to the 702. So I'll take that off. I'll take that away, and I'll take that away. So that would be your more conservative. That's still a good move here. So from where we are now, the first line, 190%. I mean, come on. When's the last time Bitcoin went up 190%? Right? Not, look at this. 328%. 702, 485%. This is the log scale. Now, not to mention, let's say we hit up to 8. That's 750%. If we go up to 10, that's almost 1,000% or a 10x, right? So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but what I believe is going to happen, and I've said it all the way down at the very bottom here. You can go back and look at my very first THETA videos. I've always thought we got to come up into a retracement. Why? Because nothing falls in a straight line. So we can come up, we can come down, we can come right, but eventually we're going to come back up here. So, and I think that's potentially what's happening now based off what? Well, based off everything I just said, which is what? Well, we have a break of the downward resistance line. We have a break above the bull market support band. We have Wyckoff accumulation. We have a miniature Wyckoff here. We have the MACD crossing over. We have the lucid SARS. I mean, come on, how much more do you need? We have well, look at this. We have the inverse head and shoulders. Here's your shoulder. Here's your head. Here's your right shoulder. So at some point, expecting the price. Now, here's the thing. Now, where I was going with that is this right here. What happens when we get there? What happens? 2 things can happen. Actually, 3 things, but 2 real possible things. The first thing that could happen is, obviously, we have a rise, a crash. Now we're going into a retracement. What comes next? Reaccumulation. So rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. So reaccumulation can come down sideways, then blast off. Or it can be a whole host of things. It can come up here, go sideways, blast off. It can go all the way up here, then come down, then go sideways, then blast off. It can come all the way up here, then go sideways at the top, and then blast off. It really depends. We don't know yet. We'd have to see how it develops. But usually we get a dip, right? So if here's your first base, here's your box, you break above the box, eventually you come down and you back test the top of the box. And that is your new range in here before breaking out into new all-time high or cup and handle, right? So that's one of the reasons. I know there's a lot of people who can't stand XRP. I get it, I understand. But that's one of the reasons why I'm bullish on XRP is because XRP is already here. It's already at the end. I'm just looking strictly technicals, right? Technicals. XRP is already here, right? That's why I primarily do XRP and THETA, right? Those are my 2 coins that I enjoy talking about. So there's a lot of reasons, right? A lot of reasons to be bullish. Now, the other thing that can happen, right, is we don't get a reaccumulation. So we have wave 1, wave 2, and we simply just go into wave 3, right? So we pull back, maybe do this, come back up, go sideways a little bit, and then just grind our way up because we have a lot of work to do. We have to cut through this. We have to cut through that. We have to cut through this. We have to cut through that. We have to cut through this. We have to cut. There's a lot of resistance. So what happens is when the price moves up, it gets battled, consolidates, comes back down, and it might take forever. But then once we break out of the all-time high, that is when you have open air. That is when you go into price discovery. That is when things get interesting. So, you might take some time in here, sideways, right? But once you break this line, then you can start getting parabolic, right? So we're not even there yet. So that would be the other idea. So my first instinct would be this is a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off. If that doesn't happen, then this is a 1, 2, 3, right? And we're just impulsing in the third wave. Obviously, if this is a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, blast off, this also is a wave 3, but it's taking more time to accumulate, and that's fine. So those are your two options that I see happening. Now, the third option is the least likely that I see happening, would be incredibly bearish, right? It would suck, right? And essentially what that means is, here's your base down here, right? Your initial base. Here's your pump. Here's your bear market. We go into a retracement, and then we come all the way down and we backtest this area in here. So actually, I can even make it a little bigger, right? So basically, we have an A, a B, and a C. So we come up here, it looks great, it looks like it's gonna go and break to the moon, right? Now, it depends how it moves up. Does it move up in 3? Does it move up impulsively, right? So we can kind of get indicators and clues if this A, B, C is gonna happen. But if this A, B, C happened, then what do we have? What do we have? It's still bullish overall, because why? Because we have a 1, 2, and now we're going up for 3. Fast and hard. Fast and hard. If we get this, it's going up fast and hard. So it would suck though, because of how long it would take. Now usually waves A's take a while. B's are usually pretty quick, and C's are usually pretty fast too. So C's are long, but they can be fast. So the idea would be, if this was going to happen, I don't think it is, but if it did, the thinking here is, here's your support right here. Here's the bottom of the base. What do the market makers do? They break the support. They break this support. They come down here. They grab all that liquidity that's resting below, and then they shoot it to the moon. So those are your three options. That's what I got for you today. Like I said, there's so many reasons to be bullish, and we're talking different time frames. People say, well, I don't understand. You said it's bullish, but now you're saying this and that. No, it's the time, right? And you got short term, medium term, long term. The short term, right, we're consolidating, and I'm expecting a retracement at some point. The medium term, I'm expecting this retracement, right, coming up here. The long term, obviously, I'm expecting a continuation. But if we come back down, or, which I don't think is going to happen, but if we come in a retrace, we come down for reaccumulation, right? Then we go sideways, right? And then we take off. That's going to take a long time. So it depends on the time, right? So when you look at it from a macro perspective, bullish. When you look at it from a short-term perspective, obviously bullish. When you look at it from a medium-term perspective, bullish, right? When does it turn bearish? It turns bearish the moment that this does not turn into reaccumulation, but rather an A, B, C. But that's not even a concern. There's no reason to talk about that, because first of all, we haven't even broke out of this range. Second of all, we haven't even retraced. Third of all, we haven't even came down for reaccumulation. So there's so many steps, right? That doesn't even matter. So by me saying this, that doesn't mean it's bearish. That just means if the steps continue to progress in that direction, then at that time, yes. But at this time, no. But it would be unfair if I didn't mention it, right? Anything can happen, right? All the bullish things I told you, at the end of the day, the price is going to do what the price wants. But that's why it's never a for sure thing. If it was always for sure, we'd all be rich, right? So at the end of the day, we rely on probabilities, and all the probabilities, go back and watch the video again and just think about how many bullish things I just talked about, and why everybody should be optimistic, hopeful, and happy for the future that is coming quickly. And look at where we're at. Now, I talked about Theta. I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin. There's no reason. I'm just going to make this a Theta only video. But if I go down to the daily chart, even if I go down, let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Look at that. Isn't that exactly what I was talking about in the last video, right? So here's your short term. Now you can see, you can look at this and say, this is bearish. This is a shoulder, and this is a head, and this is a shoulder. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Or it could be an A, B, C, back test the bull market support band, continue higher. Now, one thing I've always said is, if we lose the bull market support band, by the way, XRP lost its bull market support band. It sucks, but at the same time, it's a totally different chart, by the way. But I've said many times, Theta has a lot of wiggle room. So if we do break below, it's okay. Why? Why is it okay? Because look at this. You see this right here? Boom, resistance. Boom, resistance. Boom, resistance. This is resistance right here. So look at the price. We broke above the resistance. So now the price could come all the way down, right? So either number one, the price can come down and back test the resistance to make it support and then continue. Or the price can go up, then down and back test the resistance, then go up. A, B, C, right? In which case the B wave, it's going to get everybody bullish. Oh my God, we're going to the moon. But bam, right back down. Which would be fine. Why? Because it's an A, B, C. It's a corrective move. This is an impulsive move. I'm in impulse. This is corrective, right? So if we do lose the bull market support band, it's still fine. Now, where's our last line in the sand? Obviously, it would be at the bottom here, right? But more importantly, I would say around that 64-cent area. We really want to hold this area. So this zone right here, look at this zone. That's our accumulation zone that led to this breakout. Now, the price can come all the way back down to that zone and still would be bearish. And I can just hear it now. You said it was bullish and we're bearish. We're sitting at 64 cents. And I'd say, no, I'm even more bullish now, right? Because what do we have? Accumulation, breakout, right? And then we come down, we back test this. The breakout is the easy part. The back test is the hard part. We can come down and back test this area. That would be great. So that would be a 1, 2. You back test, you hold support, and then you go for a monster 3. So we have a 1, 2, and now we're in the third, right? We're sort of half. So here's the whole wave. We're sort of 75% of the wave. So if we go 50%, it would bring us down to about that mid 70 cent area. So here's our wiggle room from here down to here. So from the low to mid 60s up to where we are now. So that's quite a bit of room. And if we do a measurement from where we are now, we have approximately a 35% wiggle room. That's pretty good. So even if the price dropped 20%, I am still bullish. And this is called accumulation. And you just don't buy, right? It's you DCA, your dollar cost averaging. Because you don't know, right? The short term is hard. It's always hard. But you don't know if it's going to keep going down, right? A lot of people say, I bought crypto yesterday and then it went down again. Well, yeah. But let's say he bought $50. Well, maybe you should have bought 25 today. And then if it goes down, then you put the other 25 in tomorrow, right? Dollar cost averaging. And if this occurred, right, which I don't really think so, but it could, right? I'm thinking we're going to hold above the bull market support band. I really think, this is the pivot point right in this area. Now, if we break down, that's still fine. But again, what I'm looking at clear as day is, look at this. Shoulder, head, shoulder, right? Inverse head and shoulder right here. Here's your neckline. So if you take here to here, right? And then you take this, the measure move, right, is approximately, what is that? $3.60, somewhere around there. hey, I will take it in a heartbeat. So there you go. I don't want this video too long, right? Again, I don't do 10-minute videos. I can try, but I'm I think I'm providing much more detail and much more analysis and much more information, right? Because this is your investment. This is what you're putting money into. If you're watching a Theta video, chances are you hold Theta. If you hold Theta, this is your investment. This is your hard-earned money at work. And to me, I would want as much information as possible, right? So it was interesting. I was looking at my YouTube analytics, and actually, let me see if I could pull that up. It's actually pretty cool. It's the YouTube Studio. I'm new to YouTube, so I don't really know all this stuff. But I just started posting videos not too long ago. But you could see here just a little dissection of what is going on in the background. You can see the views, the watch time, right? The subscribers, right? I don't make any money off of this. I'm doing it for, just to do it, right? Helping people out. Paying it forward is my thing. So here's like returning viewers, 1.9K, unique viewers, not sure what that is, right? But here, look at this, age, right? So between 18 and 24 is 3.6%. This is good data. I'm glad YouTube does this, right? So I think the base of the audience for me would be between 35 and 44. And that's typically what I find with longer videos. Like if it's a 10-minute video, you're going to have more of the younger crowd, because the younger you are, the more the faster you need things, right? Probably the less patience you have, right? People want instant gratification, and that's as an investor, it's not really, if it's entertainment, then yeah, instant gratification is fine. But if it's something you're investing into, you probably want more time. Look at this, 99% male, 1% female. Hey, if you're a female out there watching, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Look at this, in the United States, 35%, 8.5% UK, 5% Australia. And it even shows like how many people show the subtitles. So I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I don't see anybody giving me their little backroom access to their analytics. They like to keep it private, but hey, I don't care. I'll share it myself. So let's go to content. What is this? So content right here, how viewers find you. So they browse, 55%, people search, 15%, channel pages, right? YouTube search terms. They're searching for, so this is what they're searching for. They're searching for XRP. And you say, well, why is XRP higher, 18%, 12%? Well, because XRP's got a much bigger market cap. It's got a bigger audience, right? So if you're a Theta holder not understanding that, it's just basic math, right? XRP's got a much bigger market cap. But if that's the case, actually having a smaller market cap is a more of an advantage, because that means you have more percentage potential, for example. So content suggesting you, Theta, I think those are the videos. External sites or apps. WhatsApp, I'm not on WhatsApp, so I don't know how that got there. Facebook, Twitter, yes. So yeah, it even kind of shows you like the top searches, what people are searching. People are searching right now how to get better at crypto. High risk, high reward crypto to buy now. So here's what I really wanted to show you. So I take a Theta video, for example, and you can see this is good, right? We're going up. This is if I was going down, I would be like, well, I'm doing something wrong, right? Or people are just not interested. Watch time is gradually going up. Subscribers are going up. Traffic source, YouTube search. But this is what I want to show you right here. 61% of viewers are still watching at or around the 30-second mark, which is typical. So look at this. Look at this graph right here. This graph starts at 100%. And then, for example, this video was a 40-minute video, so it ended here. Look at the drop-off. Look at that. Look at the drop-off here. So if I go down to 10 minutes, I'm retaining 23%, right? So most people tune out And this is, it says typical. This is what usually happens. It's not because I'm boring, even though maybe sometimes I am. But no, 32% is typical. But look here. Look what happens when I get down to like 30 minutes. Now I'm only holding 15%, right? And then you get a little spike and then a dump. So I'm at 40 minutes. By the time the whole video is over, I'm only retaining about 8% of the audience that initially watched. So, hey, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And I appreciate everybody tuning in, and hopefully I can show you more analytics as they pop out. I think it's interesting. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't like to show it. They like to hide it. They don't want anybody to see. But I think it's good to show because I never knew this. And I watch YouTube all the time, and I never knew all these different little analytical tools. And I definitely know that the people I watch don't share this information at all. So I thought, hey, let me show the information, see what people think, right? You can, let's see, right down here it says, 1 second. The average view duration is 7 minutes. Average percent viewed is 17%. So most people, that's why most people, even a cooking channel or whatever, it's an 8 to 10 minute video. And that's where people's attention spans usually lie. And it makes sense, right? And I totally respect that. I got a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time, so I need to get information out quickly. One of the tips I recommend is speeding up the video. So if you speed it up, there's a little icon. You can speed it up to 1.25. Anything above 1.25, it's kind of too fast. Unless you're a fast processor, you can listen at 1.5 speed. Because when I'm trying to get information and I need it fast because I'm busy, right? I usually speed up the videos. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that typical, because I've been talking about it a lot. Like, hey, I don't do 10-minute videos. I like to do more longer, methodical video. And then the analytics, right, because my channel's so young, popped up and said, yeah, that's true. Most people stick around for about 7 to 10 minutes. So what I think I'm going to do moving forward is I'm going to try my best to retain as much attention as I can within that first 10 minutes. And hopefully, if I can, people will stick around. But, again, people have extremely busy lives and they got stuff to do. So just thought I'd jump in and show all that information. I think it's interesting. So I will catch you guys. I appreciate you. If you're holding Theta, again, nothing's really changed. We're on the bull market support band. We're bullish. It looks like we're gearing up for higher prices. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy.